Meanwhile, Hunter Biden pleading not guilty to 9 federal tax charges in a Los Angeles courtroom yesterday. That hearing marking his first appearance in the case brought by special counsel David Weiss. Weiss charging Hunter last month for allegedly failing to pay at least $1.4 million in federal income taxes from foreign businesses between 2016 and 2019. Joining me right now is former acting Attorney General Matt Whitaker, coming to us this morning live from Iowa. Matthew, good to see you. Thanks very much for being here, AG. Your reaction to what we're seeing out of the L.A. courtroom, and of course, I want to get into the stunt that Hunter Biden pulled this week at the Capitol.
Yeah, I just can't believe that the Department of Justice was going to take care of these two cases, the tax case and the gun case, with a deferred judgment and misdemeanor tax charges. I mean, he's facing 6 felonies for tax and gun charges and 6 misdemeanors. And I just think that's such a long way from the way they were going to dispose of this case before. I think it is the main example of the two-tiered system of justice, of how Hunter Biden has and continues to be treated differently and better than anyone else in America would have been.
So do you think we're going to see any accountability from what the House Oversight Committee tells us is bribery, money laundering, and influence peddling? I mean, what about those larger charges that James Comer and Jim Jordan have been talking about with regard to Hunter Biden leading this influence peddling and his father involved?
Yeah, I don't think there is any interest of Merrick Garland and his Department of Justice doing anything more with this case. Obviously, there's a lot of political pressure after the sweetheart deal was proposed, but you don't see any enthusiasm to bring foreign agent registration charges or any other influence peddling type charges. You know, obviously all the LLCs that the money was moved through would suggest that this was a very sophisticated criminal organization they were running. But again, there is just no interest by this Department of Justice to do anything that would appear to be aggressive or otherwise, really take on the corruption that the Biden family was involved in.
That's unbelievable. Meanwhile, they're all over former President Trump. The New York civil trial, the fraud trial, wrapped up yesterday with New York Judge Engoron unexpectedly allowing Trump to address the court during the closing arguments. This after he ruled on Wednesday that Trump could not participate because he did not agree to keep his statement to, quote, the law and the facts. He actually stopped him from making closing arguments initially. Trump reportedly told the court this case goes outside of just the facts, saying that he's been persecuted. He also accused the judge of having his own agenda. Trump held a press conference after closing arguments yesterday as well, and here's what he said then. Watch.
You can't have 2 tiers of justice in this country. But no, I want to go to all of my trials. These are all set up by Biden and the Democrats. This is their new form of cheating. This is, like last time, this is their new form of cheating. So far, I think it's gone very much against them.
AG, this is pretty incredible. I mean, look, at least Trump got to say something. Earlier in the week, everybody was just stunned that the judge would not allow him to make his own closing arguments. The New York judge now says that he hopes to have a verdict by the end of the month. What are you expecting?
Yeah, this judge, remember, gave a summary judgment on whether or not there was fraud committed, didn't want to hear the arguments or the facts on that piece. This is what we've seen recently is just the judgment phase, the damages phase. And so I don't think that this judge is going to give any kind of fairness or, hearing to what Donald Trump and the Trump companies have to say. But that, being said, I think it is going to be an interesting judgment that this judge writes, because he has to somehow say why the $370 million of damages, where there's no victim, nobody suffered any losses, is somehow justified. And I think, it's going to be very hard to legally do that, even under New York law that gives the advantage to Letitia James, who has, we know politically persecuted and targeted Donald Trump, inconsistent with the rules of and the ethics of prosecution and prosecutorial discretion. And so this case, I think, is just the tip of the iceberg. I just, have my hats off to President Trump for, he was in Iowa doing a town hall with Fox, and then got on a plane and went back. And the next day he's in court giving a closing argument. I think it's, unbelievable how he is able to handle both these legal cases and at the same time campaigning for president.
Yeah, it is pretty incredible. And they want to keep him off the campaign trail. You know, Jack Smith wants him in a trial room on March 5th. And that's, of course, March 4th, right before Super Tuesday on March 5th. So what do you think happened to this election then? Look, you're there in Iowa. Republican presidential candidates are making their final campaign push today in Iowa. Just 3 days to go until the caucuses take place. A new Suffolk University poll of Iowa Republicans likely participating in Monday's caucuses finds that former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley has moved past Florida Governor Ron DeSantis for a distant second behind President Trump. Trump is receiving an outsized 54% of support. Haley is now at 20%, and 13% of Iowan voters say that they plan to back DeSantis as their first choice. Matt, how do you see this playing out? You are in Des Moines right now.
Well, and I've been traveling all over the state really since the first of the year. I think there shouldn't be any concern about the snow and the cold. It's always cold and snowy here in the winter. And so, Iowans are a hardy bunch, and they will turn out. I think we're going to see a normal attendance at the caucuses. Those three top campaigns and Vivek Ramaswamy have all crisscrossed the state and organized pretty well. So you're going to see the campaigns hitting their marks. It's just, Donald Trump is just popular in Iowa. He delivered for the farmers. He delivered for small businesses in his last administration. And so I think you're going to see that love of President Trump show out. It's tough. The record for a competitive caucus is 12 percentage point victory, and that was Bob Dole in 1988. And no one's ever got over 50%. And, the record there is George W. Bush in 2000 got 41%. So if Donald Trump crosses over 12% margin of victory or over 50%, those are unprecedented, and that would show his strength for sure.
Yeah, we'll probably wrap up this nomination pretty quickly. Matthew, good to see you. I know you're from Iowa, and you've been speaking with people on the ground as well. Matthew Whitaker joining us. We have got